No, I mean, it's like I always you laugh when these actors like fall in love with their co-stars, but you can see how it would happen. Yeah, I mean, I did this movie with Olivia Wilde, who's great, and just a few weeks ago in New York, but I'd come home from work and I'd just kind of be watching TV and she'd be on a L'Oreal commercial. I'd be like, there's my wife. Waving at people, hair perfectly bouncing. If we do this,
I know, I'm sorry, but see, there's this guy named Angus, and he was telling me about Rock and Roll Park and finding my band, and it was like the answer to the question of my life, Dad. Do you understand? If you could feel what I'm feeling, here.
yeah, it's incredibly fun. I mean, just to work on a movie that you know is for kids is exciting. And then, it's different than a movie. You just kind of be going to a sound booth and, you're just kind of standing there going through the script, but got to work with the other actors, like in person, like Eddie Izzard and J.K. Simmons. And yeah, it's really fun. We were, and the director, Ash Brandon, that was one of his goals, was to have us together so we could play off each other. But, working with Eddie Izzard, it was just kind of like being at one of his concerts. I would wind up just kind of sitting down, and he would just keep riffing and riffing and riffing, and he'd stop, and I'd stand up, then he'd just go back into a riff, and I'd look into the control booth, and the guy with the engineer would just be like, I don't know what to do. He's going. Yeah, I didn't think it all the way through. Yes, it is. I've been to some races and got to drive the pace car at Sonoma this year, but this is the first NASCAR award, so it's cool to see everybody together. Well, I did a hot lap with Denny Hamlin, so after what I went through with him keeping me alive, he's kind of my favorite driver now. One quick question, Mr. Butler. If you could just ask Mr. Scattergood if he'd be interested in becoming my music teacher. And they're really... Yes, sir. Yes. This is unbelievable.
What are you talking about? You actually don't have that kind of power over me. Powerful, it's as if some force beyond your control.
You honestly believe that I made this all up? What's going on there?
You're kidding.
Hey, come on.
Everyone, just take it easy, okay?
Just take it easy. And that was $1 million back in 1996, before inflation. And now the nominees for live action short.
We're gonna have a fight. Then don't forget Channel 2 News with me, lead anchor Frank Richard.
No, they weren't. I mean, I am a Texan, and I spend a lot of time in Austin, and I actually stay a lot in that neighborhood with my friends, and but no, these neighborhood kids would gather while we were shooting, and they would ask me to ask Lily Reinhardt for pictures and autographs, and so I was kind of the go-between. So I would then go to set, and we'd be getting ready to do a scene, and I'd say, Lily, after we finish this, it would be great if you could go out on the corner and do some pictures, and and she's got enough on her plate where she's almost doing kind of 2 movies at the same time. But yeah, I was kind of the go-between for the neighborhood kids and the parents. Well, no, the kids would ask me, and I'd say, okay, I'll do my best. I'll ask her, and then I'd look up, and the parents would be like, yeah, I mean, I feel like it kind of happens every day, with different jobs or different people or different relationships, but I just kind of try and do the best job I can with the path I'm on. Yeah. But, it is interesting how she kind of plays 2 different parts, and Danny Ramirez plays her kind of the father in one of the movies, and he does a great job. He never even told me that he was in Top Gun, by the way, which I found out later, which I would have led with that. And we're actively dealing with it, right? Thanks for having me on Q. Yeah, you do, although, a couple of years ago, I don't do them really much. A couple of years ago, I went to one, and I was in here in New York, and I was with 3 guys from Long Island, and I got in the group, and they were like, yeah, nice to meet you, Lou. So who's the celebrity in our group?